All right, let's break down the millennial reign and the 1,000 years of Satan, since Jonas is talking about Elon ruling till 3,000, and hopefully this is a joke, but with all the jokes, there is a little bit of truth, and since he is ahead of the government coming up, and you have a czar putting in a czar, and that's the Doge, the e-god backwards, and the dawn is the Lord, and that's the second coming on the backside. So he's showing his colors and his light, and as he shines his light in one way, the nation is divided and goes through a spiritual earthquake within the body, and they have to go this way, that way, or the other way. So the millennial reign is basically when the people that were born in the millennial generation come into power positions, and they come in and change stuff through the laws and governments, and then you go into a whole new year of 1,000 years of Satan, if it's really 1,000 years, because you're under that so-called 1,000 years now, because the whole world is under the spell of Satan and under the lie and all these other things, which is the brainwashing. So you would be going from one lie to another lie, and this would be where the aliens would be coming in, where the image-given life has already programmed you into thinking that the God is light, these light beings are aliens. So this is where everything works within itself, but because Satan rules the physical that we live in. So that's the negative charge, and you got to have that negative charge to move forward. So that's kind of like that spanking on the butt in a way, or the prod on the lamb, those types of things. But that's also that's a whole nother rabbit trail. So we're going from one rule structure to another rule structure. And in order to do that, all the invisible, so-called, has to be exposed. And the exposed comes with that exposition. That's before you know, and that ex-precedent, and what's your vice, and all those things are going to be coming up into our world. So the millennial reign is not 1,000 years like the church teaches. Okay, it's just a time where you have this seventh day that's been gathered up and marked in the right hand and worshiped his name and number and all these things, and the buying, selling, and tracking and all these things that's been going on since 1950s or before. And so this is all coming to a head. And when you count the days, 24 years back, you go back to the 1800s and such, so that accounts perfect to this time frame where we see the Industrial Revolution and the cars and all this stuff coming out, and then and the basically the petro era, the petro globalist empire, that would be coming to a head and being taken into Texas, in a matter of speaking. And it may seem great at first, and whatever they got planned to get you down there, and then it peters out. Okay, and that peters out because there's a new so-called church being started, or a new Satan or Christ or whatever that would be developed, that we can see where Peter was calling Jesus the Christ. And then today, those who hold the testimony of Jesus Christ are the beastmen in one aspect. So because it's all about gathering this by Bel nation, the by Bel, the Bel worship, going into imprisonment, and your cell, the buy and sell, where you're throwing men into cages and this kind of shit. Okay, so no reason to throw people up in cages. If they got some type of problem or whatever, we need to have like an open island or whatever kind of thing that they can go to. Okay, and if they can swim back, they're forgiven because they put in the work. And if anybody can swim back that far or whatever kind of thing, they deserve another chance. Okay, so we got some kinds of stuff messed up. Alcatraz was kind of right, but not. anyways, that's where we're kind of being shown this and that. Nothing's like right, because nothing's of the spirit. It's all of the carnal, and they train the carnal through reward system and through naughty and nice and the two-edged sword of good and evil, God and devil. All right, and they teach you God is this when you're actually looking at God every time you look at a person, because we're all the lampstands of God and we're all the sons of God, and the Father's in I and I in the Father. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. Heaven is in you and me and everybody. All right, you got to find it, because this hell's going to take it away from you and bring you down. Either way, y'all, they got the whole image set up, and the image works within the image to disguise the image and all these other things. So we're going into the new age, 1,000 years of Satan, or where aliens, where man walks with God and all those other things, just in a different twist, because y'all been taught by these so-called begotten sons, by these cultures, denominations, which is a sign of American Nazism. But all the 45,000 plus denominations also prove there's something wrong with it. And also, God is this, God is that, God is whatever. And you have to put faith, blind leading blind, Jesus said. So all these divided, they get you divided, and then they can get you to go to war. You're going to that holy war. And the ho-ho-ho is right before you with the Joe.